I'd probably also be a big number 2.
Yeah.
Hey there, everyone, and welcome to GalaxyCon Live, where we bring the convention experience directly to you. I'm your host for today's panel, Mario Bueno. The follow-up to mangaka Atsushi Okubo's 2004 manga and 2008 anime Soul Eater, Fire Force has become a worldwide phenomenon since its anime debut in 2019. And today, we are very excited to be speaking to some of the English-language cast members who have been bringing these very colorful characters to life. So, without further ado, let's start bringing them out to our virtual stage, beginning with the voice of Shota Aizawa in My Hero Academia, Ren Akatsushi in Fairy Tail, and Takehisa Hinawa in Fire Force. Please welcome to our virtual stage, Christopher Wehkamp. Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going, Mario?
Going just fine. Thank you for joining us from the ethereal plane over there.
Yes, it's beautiful, great weather over here in another dimension.
And also joining us, not from another dimension, but from shows such as Tokyo Ghoul as Uta, Kamui Woods from My Hero Academia, and Benimaru in Fire Force. Please welcome Aaron Roberts to our virtual stage.
Hello, everyone. Hello from the other side of vaccination.
Hey, it's a pretty great place. How many hours did you sleep? I just got through my second one, and I was basically out most of yesterday.
Yeah, it was basically like 4 hours after the first one, and then the second one, I probably slept for about 12 hours. Yeah, I was down.
Yeah, that sounds like my day yesterday, but we are glad to have you here. Glad to hear that you got your shots. And, for everybody out there, once you get the chance, definitely go out and get them. We'd really appreciate it so we can get back together in person as soon as we can. And also joining us as soon as they can here on our virtual stage, please welcome the voice of Yumemi Hoshisato in Hatana Illusion, Sumire Fujita in Tamayomi, the Baseball Girls, and Maki Oze in Fire Force, Sarah Roach. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing over there?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing just fine. As you probably caught as we were bringing you up to the virtual stage, seems myself and Aaron we're sleep time buddies after getting our Fauci Ouchie Part 2, the dose. But glad to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And also joining us here on our virtual stage, you know them as the voice of Sanji in One Piece, Tomura Shigaraki in My Hero Academia, Loki in Fairy Tail, Trunks in Dragon Ball Z, and Arthur Boyle in Fire Force, Eric Vale. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing just fine over here. How you doing over there?
Excellent, man. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for being here. Always happy to have you on board for some GalaxyCon goodness. And finally, you know them as the voice of Mimic in My Hero Academia, Rill in Black Clover, Wall in Fairy Tail, and Ro in Dragon Ball Super, and of course, Shinra Kusakabe in Fire Force. Derick Snow, welcome to our virtual stage.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me, and it's so good to see all my fellow castmates in a virtual world.
Woo!
Woo woo!
Slowly but surely, we are getting back to the real world. But until then, happy to have you all here from the various parts of the world that we share together. So the world of Fire Force is a very interesting one, to say the least. I know certainly when I first learned about the premise of this show, I definitely saw some parallels to other things that had come out at around the same time, but taking a very different, more action-oriented route than the other show that came out at the same exact time, who we've talked to guests from. So I would like to know, when you all first heard about the premise of Fire Force, because at first you think, oh, it's a firefighting anime, and then you actually see the show. It hits very differently. So I'd like to know your initial reactions to the premise of Fire Force when you were first exposed to it, whether as an observer checking it out for the first time, or when you were starting to look over copy for sides.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big Soul Eater fan. That was one of the first, when I started working at Funimation, that was one of the first shows that I watched for research. So when I saw that the creator was coming out with the new show, and I read the manga, but I guess the simplest way for me to relate to it was like, oh, this is like a combination of Ghostbusters and Backdraft, because I'm old.
That's a good combo there. That's a good combo.
Yeah, it was very exciting to when I first learned about the show, and after I got the audition and we started doing some promo stuff for it. We initially did a promo at a firehouse, and yeah, it's not exactly fighting that kind of fire, as we quickly discovered. The sound design. One of the first things that I noticed, just right off the bat when we started recording, was the incredible sound design. And I was just kind of gave me tingles from the first for the first moments that we started working on the show. I've had a great time, but yeah, to be a firefighter it's a little different on this one.
When I first got the audition, I started doing like some research into it, and the whole premise of like fighting fire with fire, I was like, how's this gonna work? And then you kind of see like each of the characters uses fire in a different way, and I think it's really cool like how all the characters have different connections to fire. So I was really into it.
Yeah, it feels like a buddy cop show, but they're firefighters, I guess. I don't know. And yeah, my first impression, kind of like Derick, like there's this sound effect that they use a lot. It's like, I can't do it, but it's like, or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds like dubstep.
Fire kicks. Yeah.
It's dropping. We're about to see some feet.
I was very struck by that, and certainly the animation style. I haven't seen Soul Eater. I've seen parts of it, but similar animation style and very unique. You don't see a lot of anime done in this animation style, so that's so cool.
Yeah, when I first knew I was doing the show, I just looked at my character first and foremost and didn't understand the character for about 4 episodes. So I was focused on trying to figure that out and didn't actually look at the show part of it until much later, because for 4 episodes I was like, I don't know this character, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I think it was episode 4 or 5 where I looked at Kyle, our director, and I'm like, oh, he's an idiot. Okay. And once all that happened, it fell into place. Yeah, proud idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of clicked in that moment, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I found like the very first couple of sessions, it was just a lot of trusting the director, because you're kind of coming in a little bit blind. Just a little bit, because I was trying to catch, the manga, and fortunately it was popular enough. I was able to get a couple of volumes at my local bookstore, but yeah, there was a lot of trust right off the bat, as he just kind of described things for me, which was helpful.
Yeah, and certainly, especially in those early episodes, so much is just thrown at you, not just as a viewer, but I imagine as talent. So this does not surprise me at all. And just a quick follow up to Christopher's point there about the animation. One thing that it definitely came to mind for me when I first checked out the show. My girlfriend is a graphic designer and illustrator who also has training in animation, and she pointed out the way that they animate the fire. You could tell that they throw so much budget into that because the crispness and the cleanliness of it, it's just next level when you compare to similar effects in other shows where it's like, all right, yeah, as long as you see the thing, it's fire. Yeah,
the fire is definitely its own character, and they just gave it so much life and different ways. There's so many different kinds of fire, and it's just really fun to watch. As different different demons and how the heroes are able to handle the fire. Everybody's, and each person kind of, there's different color tones for how each person handles their fire. It's wonderful to see the artistic direction, and the animation is beautiful.
Yeah, very, very top shelf. And I'm looking forward to some top shelf questions from our fans, because it sounds like we are ready to go with some fan questions. Let's throw one up right here. This one is from Katrina. If you could have any of the abilities or powers from the show, what would you choose and what would you use it for? Ooh, ethical questions. All right, we're going in hard today.
Okay. I would use, I've played multiple characters in anime with swords. So
yes.
I'm gonna lean toward my character's sword fighting ability, and I would use it to teach other people how to sword fight so I wouldn't have to. It just sounds scary.
Yeah, yeah, it's frightening.
I mean, I would definitely take, like, hands down, because Benimaru is a second, third generation hybrid, can make his own fire and can manipulate it, which is amazing. But I would definitely use that power in whatever way that I can to make sure that everyone in Georgia can vote.
Woo!
Yeah, the magic firepower of voting.
That was probably the best answer. But I'll say, so there's probably two answers. Like, if I had answered this question, 20 years ago, I think I'd be like, well, I would want Shinra's power so that I could shoot fire out of my feet and like fly and like, be an awesome fighter and stuff. And now 20 years later, like I would just like to be able to control the temperature of the room around me in a bubble at all times so that like
keep my side of the car warm.
Yeah. That's what I'd like most. Because the people in my house really like it cold, and I'm just like, I am freezing. Can we please? And so it's a constant battle, and it wouldn't have to be if I could just control the little bubble of temperature around me. So I think that'd be great.
I think mine would be the same. I take Maki's powers because I'm literally always cold, and I just have my little like fire sprites keeping me warm.
See, I think it would be really nice to be able to create a little fire buddy. You're bored, you want to play some chess, make a little fire sprite to just kind of play off against. Now you got player 2, whenever you want. I mean, it'd melt your controller, but I like that.
Just say, you gotta have to like coat it in fireproof.
Yeah, I want like a little. I'd create my own little like fire-based therapist. Like just talk to him or her, whatever. They wouldn't judge me. They'd just burn.
Give you nothing but hot takes.
Hot takes. Yes. They'd give me nothing but puns all day. Dad jokes. I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, sorry, not sorry to all of our viewers. It's fire. We're gonna be making these jokes all panel, I hope. All right, let's see what our next question is looking like. This one is from Stiles. What's your most memorable moment in the recording booth? I will open this up to not just for Fire Force, but if you have any particular poignant memories in the booth, feel free to share those as well.
I have one top of mind, which is not often that happens, and it's Fire Force. So I came in. This was for something in season 2. I can't remember what. There was one sort of what we call like a rogue flap on the line, where the line filled everything up except for like one little flap at the end. And so, kind of as a joke, as I did the line right at the end of it, I just said, "Okay." Just in my regular sort of speaking voice. So I forget what the line was exactly, but we must have played that back like 10 times because it's like a really dramatic line, and then he just says, "Okay." It's like one last little flap at the end. Obviously, didn't keep it, couldn't keep it, had to delete it, but just a fun little moment.
That's funny. As a never-ending method actor in the booth, this year's been a little different because we've been I've been recording from my home booth, but it's always fun to kind of create realism. I was talking, I kind of chatted about this earlier, but so the second to last or last episode, Shinra and Arthur are just getting their butts kicked in training, and Shinra at some point he gets dunked into a tank. Okay. And I'm supposed to scream, and that sounds stupid. So, the method actor in me, I always have a delicious fizzy water with me at all times whenever I'm sipping in the booth. So it's my own booth, so I can't really break it. So, I just filled my mouth with water and just screamed my head off. And I didn't get it on the microphone because I gave a, nice little safety distance with that. But I love those method moments.
Ian Sinclair, at one point in time, because he never knew when his characters were going to be eating, he would always bring a box of tater tots.
Perfect.
Wow.
Got to make a Sonic run.
But actually.
I was
work a little. I'm also hungry.
Okay. Mine. I don't know that one of the most, because it's the first thing that comes to mind. It wasn't really an acting moment, but it was like when because I didn't find out I was playing Uta in Tokyo Ghoul until I went to go record, and so that was a nice moment when Mike McFarlane told me that I was going to be playing this dude. So yeah.
Ooh, yeah, nice shock. That's fun.
Yeah.
I have tons of moments like that, but I always tend to go back to the beginnings of things as the favorite moments because, like, I remember the first time I was in Funimation's booth when they only had one booth 21 years ago, and it was kind of tucked away at the back of a storeroom in an office building, and I thought at the time I was, much younger and thought that was normal. And it kind of is, but kind of not.
Mine was similar to Aaron's. Maki was my first role in Fire Force, and I had auditioned like the week before. They called me in for like a little bit of time the week after. So I was like, oh, it's probably like Walla, whatever. So I get into the booth, and Jose, the engineer, was like, so do you know what you're doing? And I was like, no. And he's like, all right, I'll let Kyle tell you. And I was like looking through the cast at like the script at the very top, and like every name was filled in except for Maki. And I was like, and then Kyle was like, so you're playing Maki. All right, let's start. I was like, okay.
Yay.
It's very interesting that you guys, we're literally finding out on the spot. That is absolutely just surreal.
Yeah.
I know that, especially for dub work, there's a lot of it that's just kind of called on the fly, but to get such meaty roles and learn about it day off, I'm like, wow. Props to you guys for being able to roll with that. So A+. All right, let's see what else we have coming in from our fans. This one is from Kimora. Do you think you and your character would get along if you met? I see you're shaking his head already.
No.
I wouldn't be able to put up with him. No. I have patience for that kind of behavior from my children only.
That's funny. I mean, I think I would like myself if I'm kind of a shorty, so it's always nice to have somebody who can fly and get stuff off the top shelf. And my wife, she has an aversion to like feet, so it's like a nightmare sometimes when she's punching it with me. It's like, that's my feet. Do you like it? Yeah. So I would like it. I don't know.
It's hard to say. I don't know that because I feel like there are times I feel like if someone else knew me and knew Benimaru would be like, oh my god, you guys let totally get along. But like, and I hate it when people say that because it always jinxes everything. But I feel like I think I identify with Benimaru maybe more than any other character that I've voiced. I have a healthy disrespect for authority. I'm antisocial. There's a lot of boxes being checked. So I feel like generally when you find, there's also a lot of things that I don't like. When you find commonalities with other people and like traits that you may or may not that have positive aspects and negative aspects, sometimes it's like looking in a mirror and you want to run.
Benimaru is he's a sexy boy. He's a nice.
That's
boy.
me.
Benimaru, right?
That's the common part that's positive.
Exactly the same.
I think. Has anybody seen the movie Office Space?
Oh,
yeah, of course.
It's a really old movie.
Yes,
but the main character has this neighbor next door to him who's like works a construction job and like they're friends with each other, but kind of just because they live next to each other, and otherwise they wouldn't really like interact as much. They're kind of in different circles in life, I guess. I feel like that would be me and Hinawa if he was my neighbor. Like he'd be all tough and hard and like cleaning his guns and stuff, and I'd be like, man, I don't know. I tried my best in the audition today, and I just don't think they like me. I don't know. Like it would just be, Peter, man, just don't worry about it. Like I think it would be, it'd be an interesting dynamic. I don't know if we would necessarily like gravitate towards each other if we were just out in the wild in the world. But if thrown together, I think we could complement each other in some ways for sure.
I think Maki and I would get along. I need a workout buddy, and I think she would be a great workout buddy. But then also we could like go shopping afterwards and have girl talk and have like a fully rounded day together.
Yeah,
Nice.
that sounds pretty on brand. Because one of the things I do admire about Fire Force in particular, the female characters in the show, they are top shelf. Like that variety that you just spoke of. She's strong, but also she's your best friend. So that's fantastic, right there. All righty, let's queue up our next question. This one is from Kristie. What scene from the show has been your favorite so far? And we'll open that up to not just something that you may have, voiced in the booth yourself, or something you may have, really latched onto when watching an episode later on.
Again, just like top of mind, I'll say I really liked the sniper battle in the subway with Hinawa, and I just thought it was a really fun sort of cat and mouse, almost like World War II kind of vignette that they inserted into a like post-apocalyptic subway scene, and it was really cool. And I felt like we got to see some more depth. I like the scenes where we can kind of dig into the characters a little more and see what's going on, what's ticking, what's inside, and that was definitely one of those scenes. So I think that's the one for me.
I'm ashamed to say that my favorite scene has nothing to do with acting at all. It's basically I watched the preview of Benimaru fighting that demon over in the sky over Asakusa, and just when I heard, because we were talking about the sound design earlier, when I heard that that crazy sound effect, like even though it had like I was going to say 2 words and that was going to happen, I was like, I get to be a part of this. That sound effect is somehow attached to me. So I think that is my. It's so stupid. I'm a stupid actor with a tiny little acorn brain, but it made me feel good.
I've got a couple that just come into my mind, and they kind of fight each other for dominance. Besides the totally memeable like Benimaru, like when he does the old chest touch thing and everything, the world explodes. But like memed out like crazy, so I always see that randomly in GIFs and stuff. That's always fun. But for me, of course, the Shinra and show battles, it kind of stretched on for a couple episodes, but there was just so much emotion going on, and as Shinra was getting his ass kicked, I just loved that he's not a perfect person, and it's just great character building. And surprisingly, moments at Company 8 where Shinra is basically making a family, with his fellow company members. I love those moments, those family and character building moments. Particularly just once when they were just making a meal. I really liked that moment where it's just outside of all the battles and they're just, living their lives together and becoming closer. I really like that moment.
I think one of my favorite scenes that I've worked on in the show was season 1. Maki has this fight in the Nether, and one of my favorite parts about it is she's like hearing all these noises and it's super dark, and she's like really scared that it's going to be ghosts, and then she finds out it's just a bunch of like dudes that are bad guys, and she's like, I can totally handle that, and then she like kicks butt,
murders them.
Literally murders them
to death. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Murders were committed.
You were a ghost before, but now.
Yeah, he was good.
And Eric, let's round it out with you. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was agreeing with Chris.
Okay.
Sniper scene. Yeah. I probably was too quiet. I don't know how to use my voice very well. I shouldn't do this for a living.
That's a dirty lie, sir. we have plenty of evidence to prove this point to the contrary. This next one is from Kyle, and the question is, what is your favorite anime other than Fire Force?
Is Kyle Phillips on here trolling us?
Yeah, Kyle, that's crazy.
Yes.
Basically, if we say anything other than Fire Force, he's going to get mad at us.
I'm going to say Ace Attorney. How about that?
Good.
Oh, Ace Attorney.
Overlord. The answer is Overlord.
Favorite anime other than Fire Force? Growing up, of course, one of my favorite all-time anime films is Princess Mononoke. It just rubbed every part of my brain the right way. I love the animation, the storytelling style. But as a a person that like a bucket list actor, I always wanted to be able to do Dragon Ball. And once I did that, I was like, I think I'm done with I think I did it. So that's like, it's a little different. A bucket list, I guess, anime favorite. Yeah, so that's mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the naughty, and I'm gonna break this into 3 different categories.
No.
One that's I guess like serious drama. I don't know, and I think that Soul Eater is quirky and not so much serious. So I've got like a top tier tied whatever placement. One is Soul Eater is way up there. This is so dumb, but High School of the Dead.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right.
And also in terms of a film release or like a full feature, Wolf Children, I think is the only anime that's made me cry. And it's hard when you are a voice actor, you tend to, at least I do, it's hard for me to enjoy live performance. It's hard for me to enjoy cinematic performance because I'm constantly
just breaking it down,
breaking it down and nitpicking and whatever. And then I'm also just like hearing voices as I'm listening to shows, to anime. And so for me to be able to like remove myself from that and fully emotionally invest in a show is really like an accomplishment for the piece. And Wolf Children was so effing good.
Follow-up question to that. How far did you make it before the waterworks started?
I don't know, man. It was probably 3/4. I guess like 3/4 through the movie. I mean, there was a moment there because, like, I mean, there's a lot of love, but there's also a little bit of bestiality, and I was able to,
like you do,
view that with my eyes and still feel things was pretty great.
Yeah, I can tell you the exact moment for me. Like, I also made it pretty far into the movie, but the parking lot scene, like in the very last like chunk of the film, that was when it was just like waterworks. I was like, oh god, my feels.
I was watching anime when I was a little kid and I just didn't know it. I just called it cartoons. So, but I, as an adult, in college, I encountered Cowboy Bebop, and that was really my first time that I saw like this is also sort of the generic vanilla answer, but I don't care. It's the answer. It's my answer. It blew me away. It was so amazingly well done and well acted. It's you can throw it on today and it's still great. It's still great. It's so well written and directed and acted. It's just fantastic. And it hit all the little spots in my brain that I loved the most. It was like sci-fi, but also noir, but also some kind of weird love triangle, but not. And also like, what are these characters? It's just great. And so that's my generic, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Vanilla answer. Cowboy Bebop.
I'm a huge anime watcher in my free time, so it's hard for me to pick one. But if I was going to pick like a more recent one, I would say Attack on Titan, because it's been like 7 years in the making, and it's all like culminating, and the story is just like, what is going to happen? And it's just really exciting, and I love it.
I always go back to Battle of the Planets.
Ooh, all right.
That's what I was watching when I was 4. It's still good.
Yeah, one of the all-time classics. So yeah, that is choice. That is choice. Alrighty, so let us see what our next question is from our wonderful fans. All right, this one is from Jackie. So if the character you play lived on Earth as a regular human being, what do you think their career would be? See,
I mean, the easiest,
Aaron
most
just already
answer, the easiest,
Tears
most
are
generic
turning.
answer is firefighter, but I guess I should think about it more.
Yeah, I'd be on some kind of firefighting force.
Maybe he would specialize in fighting fires in some way.
He'd punch him stupidly.
Fire puncher.
Yeah. No, I think Shinra would be some kind of like Kyopera dance master. He's got some spin kicks. He'd have that little, he'd be out on the sidewalk with the cardboard on the ground, just doing some sweet spins for cash. And he'd probably need dental work.
Yes, you would, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like Benimaru would be a plumber. There is no profession on this earth that has more disillusioned characters than the industry of plumbing contractors. Yeah, and I don't know. I posted this the other day, and it still rings true. To me, plumbers are like magicians. They keep their secrets, and I like two of them.
It's good.
That's good. That's real good.
I think Arthur would be an actor.
Yeah, he's got the personality.
That sounds right.
Like,
For real?
about that.
I can actually see that now. I'm just like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty.
And then, of course, he'd probably get like super well-known, super famous, and then totally get canceled for doing something
Yeah,
stupid.
he didn't boxing with celebrities.
I think Maki would be an MMA fighter or something along those lines.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, I could see her being, UFC champion. That'd be legit.
Totally.
Oh man. Alrighty, so let's see what our next one is. This one is from Mariah. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Who would you cosplay from Fire Force, given the opportunity?
I mean, Joker's pretty cool. It's kind of fun to be the bad guy when you're dressing up. But personally, I think the coolest costume for me would be like Captain Burns. He's got the cool eye patch. I think I'd do a nice Captain Burns. I wouldn't look like him, but it would be fun. Yeah.
I think
oh, sorry, Sarah, go ahead.
I think I would cosplay as Haumea because she's just wearing like huge pajamas, right? Like it would be super comfortable.
It would be comfy.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I don't cosplay. I won't cosplay. The idea of putting on a costume makes me sick to my stomach.
Not even for Halloween?
I will wear something at Halloween, yes.
All right, I'd wear a costume for a couple candy bars.
Yeah, usually it's a bottle of bourbon, but yeah, same thing.
I want to go to that Halloween.
It's sitting right there.
The Halloween for big boys and big girls. There we go.
There are these funny characters that show up, and I don't know what they're called, but they look like mascots. And one of them's like a dog, and one of them's
yes!
I'd like to be one of those. I'd like to be one of those. I'd like to just be, and I'd like to be at the con, completely disguised as this like dog mascot, just
standing around like a sad sack, just not even moving,
sweating like crazy,
sweating my balls off. Yes,
like an NFL mascot. I'm stealing that answer. That's wonderful. Also, many people don't know this, but Chris Sabat is the voice of that dog.
That's
it's
right.
Like sounds a little droopy dog, but yeah, that's great.
It's the hardest gig he's ever done.
Oh man. That'd be a good one, because there are so many good incognito actor stories from, especially the bigger comic book conventions. Some of the best are, A-list Hollywood actors, just going around incognito or even better, just hiding in plain sight as their character and people just not realizing, oh, it's the actual guy. So some very creative solutions to this one. Thank you all.
One thing I've always wanted to do to go to a convention and like dress up, just an incorrect convention. I want to dress up like a Ferengi and just walk around. That would be great.
Just make people angry.
Yes.
Show up
yes.
the celebration.
Yeah, and just like use the force, and then that wouldn't end well.
It's
but
like, wait a minute. So for any of you anime fans who also follow Star Wars, if you suddenly see a Ferengi at your next Star Wars celebration, well, we have the most likely culprit right there. Alrighty, let's check out our next question from our wonderful fans. Having a lot of fun with these. Thank you all so much today. This one is from Gobe. What? And speaking of fandom mashups. What other fandom would you like to see have a crossover with Fire Force?
I mean, I feel like Soul Eater's almost inevitable. You know, all the things that it leans towards. So I think that one's a little too obvious. But yeah, that. I mean, I'd like to see all those old school characters, you know, just kind of find their way into that. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
I think it would be cool if if Company 8 needed to go because they ran out of supplies and they needed to go resupply, and they ended up in Hank Hill's store and they had to refill propane. I think that'd be awesome. I'd love to see a King of the Hill, which, by the way, King of the Hill, obviously the #1 anime of all time, undisputed.
Sure.
So yeah, I would love to see that. I think
King
of the
anime.
Hill and Fire Force is a perfect matchup.
The Company 8 would be probably his best customers for propane and propane accessories.
And propane accessories, very important.
I was going to say, because I believe Marvel has done a crossover with X-Men with every other title, Inhumans, everybody, Avengers. There's been, but now that I'm thinking about that, I would like to see a double crossover with Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That'd be rad.
Yeah,
It'd be a
cool.
Street
That would be
Crawler.
insane.
I'd play that arcade game.
All right. You may have just blown my mind because I'm like, oh, all right. So we're really crossing the streams on this one. Okay. Okay. That is bold. I respect that.
I think I'm just gonna have to go with Soul Eater, like Derick said. Like it's hinted at kind of a little bit, but like I would love to see how those characters interact with each other and like the worlds kind of combining, and I think that would be really cool.
Certainly would be great for the animators.
Yeah.
Very, very few changes need to be made. You know, just a little couple of little tweaks here and there. You know,
I want to
just
see them
freshen it
cross
up.
over with like what is it, Chips or Rescue 911 for like a reality version.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I was going to say
Live action
NYPD
version?
Blue.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, the late night version. I mean, it wouldn't change much.
It's the most gritty crossover.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm now suddenly imagining Reno 911 with all of this. I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Kimura's got tiny
That's so weird.
shorts.
I was imagining Dennis Franz's animated butt.
You bet.
Yeah.
It uses the same bass sound for some stuff.
Yes, the same sound.
I mean, well, I imagine there are some people in the audience who are not familiar
Yeah,
with
like,
this slice of 90s pop culture. Just like,
We're a little.
the hell are these guys talking about?
We might.
Like,
Some of us might be older than
just
you.
Google it.
Yeah.
Just Google it. It was a whole thing. The guy who played Bail Organa was in that show. So if you watch the Star Wars, you recognize people who were in that show. We're good here.
Duh.
Alrighty, so we still have time for at least one or two more questions, maybe even a third if we are so lucky. So let's check this out. This one is from Vix. What is your favorite or funniest moments since acting in Fire Force?
Hinawa is not very funny. He doesn't have a lot of like comedy moments. But our director, our beloved director, Kyle Phillips, brings a lot of funny just to life. And so one day I showed up with red shoes and I was like, I think I'm going to wear these red shoes every day that I record for Fire Force. And he was like, sweet. And then the next time I came in, he started videotaping me with my shoes, and he turned it into kind of a redo of this old Vine where it's like, damn, Wehkamp, back at it again with the red shoes. And I was like, that's hilarious. I am laughing. And I thought that would just be, we'll do that one time and that'll be the end of that. No. Every time I came in, he found a different way to ambush me. He had other directors ambush me to do it. He had unsuspecting people unrelated to it ambush me to do it. And then I would go in and do like very serious Hinawa lines because he's never funny. You know, he's almost never funny. But so that was always a good time. We had the running joke of the back at it again with the red shoes.
I would say to feed off of that. Kyle Phillips also created a song list of entrance music for all of the actors when we would come into the booth.
Oh my god!
Every time we came in, it played "Salute Your Solution" by the Raconteurs for me. I think Chris Sabat's was "Don't Call It a Comeback" by LL Cool J.
Mm-hmm. And every time he play it, as you're walking on, you're walking towards the room, like, yeah, there it is.
Hear it in the hall.
Yeah. It's like I should have thought of a different song when I said it out loud. Oh well.
What was your song, Derick?
Smashing Pumpkins. I want to say "Bullet with Butterfly Wings," so it's a rocking song. But yeah,
it's a great intro.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if I were a baseball player, that'd be my walk-on music for sure. Because now it's in my soul constantly. I think one of the silly moments. I mean, I'm so dang muppety behind the microphone. I very much physicalize when I'm emoting. Sometimes more than others. And I remember once he saw my head doing this thing like in front of the mic, and he said, "Actually, can you I need more of that when we're doing that." So it became a very head bobbly kind of "what is love" situation in the studio for a hot second while I'm having just some energy in there. Yeah.
One of the other things that Kyle would do when we were in person in the studio was try to make you break. And so he'd have you or one of the other actors record a ridiculous line and then only play it for you when you're about to record to try and get you to break. And so it was always a nice surprise to see.
And they'll probably never be heard ever anywhere. Unfortunately. Very good stuff.
I was in the studio about I guess it was a little over a year ago. And I walked in, there was not a whole lot of people there. I had to do a session on one thing and then pop over to Fire Force. And I walked in and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they're like, "Hey, it's a huge pandemic. We're going to shut the building down. Get out. Go home."
That's hilarious.
It was hysterical. So funny. And this joke's been going on for a year. They still haven't opened it back up. I don't know. It's pretty impressive.
They really committed to the bit.
They committed to the bit.
I miss the cookies the most. Going into the Funimation, you'd walk in and occasionally there'd be desk cookies. And now I just have to eat cookies by myself. It's not the same.
Sorry.
I
You just said cookies and I put on 5 pounds.
Yeah, that's been this year. Cookie-tastic. Shinra's Kadunkadunks got a little dunkier.
Oh my god, that is a mood. So let's get one more question and then we will be on our way. This one is from Kimora. What generation fire type do you think you'd be?
The next generation.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Probably how I am now, I'm always a cusp between generations. I'm too old for the cool kids or whatever. So, but it feels young. So yeah, I'd be Gen 2, not quite the cool stuff, but it seems like I have some Gen 3 abilities, but I'm faking it.
I'm not going to choose. I'm taking both second and third. I'm not falling into your trap, Kimora. This isn't happening today. I'm building the fire and I manipulate it. This is how look, you think I got this, Darth Vader? Wait, over there? Am I playing by the rules? No, didn't. Stole it out of the trash. Okay? 2 and 3.
I think I'd be a 2. I don't want to have the responsibility of creating the fire. I just want to be able to mess with it, and change it around. Too much responsibility.
All the fire, no the responsibility. Very nice.
Yeah.
It's a good balance, I'd say.
I'd probably also be a big number 2.
Yeah.
And on that note, we are going to start wrapping it up here over at GalaxyCon. No, in all honesty, thank you so much, everyone. This was a lot of fun. We hope that you all enjoyed it over there. Let's get some parting words from you all so we can wrap this on up and you can go and have some wonderful conversations with our wonderful viewers.
Thanks for having us, guys. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a year. The world's opening up a little bit, but I'm very glad to be able to hang out with you guys just for a little while. Without
the fans, we don't have a job. So thank you for watching and caring about the characters that we care about too.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Don't be scared to get vaccinated. It's going to be fine. I've had feelings of dread. I cannot wait to meet you all in person everywhere. I'll be in a couple places later this year in venues that are operating and events that are operating safely. But I want us all to get back to where we need to be. So stay safe and take care.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. And Fire Force is still airing on Toonami on Saturday night. So if you want to check that out, it's at, I believe, 1 a.m. Central now. So.
All right, rock and roll. Well, again, thank you so much to everybody. And to all of you out there, as always, stay happy, stay healthy, stay informed, and we'll see you again soon here at GalaxyCon. Take care, y'all.